Welcome to the Delco Nerd Network podcast. I am your host, Anthony Ragucci, and here with a few friends in the Delaware County area, we get together in a basement and we talk about a certain topic. Today's topic is Batman v Superman a good movie? Here to discuss that, Chris Trio, and then my good friends, Billy Zografidis and Aris Tzortzatos.
Thanks for joining us today, guys.
Thanks for having us.
You know, I was when you guys said I think it was the last podcast we did.
It was
absolutely the last.
We were going
and you were just like, we should do this. I was like, we should. And then that's
I agree.
Well, this has been like a battle since the movie came out.
Like
we met outside of the theater and we're just arguing.
And had totally. I remember too, because we walked out and we were like,
really?
I don't. You guys were like, what the hell was that? And we were like, I thought it was fine.
Wait.
It was good.
No, you guys were like, that was amazing. And
Oh my
like,
god!
what the
Okay,
fuck did you watch?
I remember.
This had more tension than the trailer for the movie. Okay.
Oh my!
I mean,
big deal.
I'll give you that though. That last trailer was bad.
Well, no, it's just
Which one? Justice League or Batman vs Superman?
Batman vs. Oh, I thought you didn't like the Justice League trailer.
I think they show way too much.
See, I didn't
they show
think
the whole movie. That's the issue.
Yeah.
I think that we've only seen the beginning, like maybe 10 minutes of that movie. But it's obviously
Oh, wait,
seen, like,
are we talking
the
about
Justice League? Whereas obviously Batman vs Superman, that
showed
trailer
they showed
was
the whole
literally
movie.
it's all right. Here's Act 1, here's Act 2,
Yeah.
and here's Act 3, and there you go. And I watched that, and I'm like, God damn it, because I'm one of those guys that will watch the trailers, and I'm stupid like that. Even like the last Star Wars
I love
trailer,
watching the
that
trailer.
spoiled the shit out of a ton of stuff for me. That
What,
was
the,
like
the new one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like,
Well, that's why
Rain.
Rain Johnson was like, don't watch the trailer.
Especially the Porgs, man. Especially the Porgs.
He has a
Dude, I fucking hate the
Porgs for some
Porgs. They're gonna
Why?
ruin the movie.
Dude, roll it.
Right?
They're
That's
gonna ruin the movie.
I'm like, you guys
see.
They're already like I'm like, why are you showing?
They're gonna ruin the movie.
Like, all right. But before we get into the topic of the podcast, how you guys doing? What have you been playing? What have you been watching? What's been up? I know what Trio's doing. I don't really care.
Yeah, what movies you guys see last?
I saw Happy Death Day yesterday.
How was it?
It really wasn't bad.
Dude, it looked
Yeah, it was
okay,
good,
actually.
but
I thought it looked
the
interesting.
ending kind of it pissed me off, but then it redeemed itself.
Mm-hmm.
So it was alright. But no, it wasn't bad. And it's PG-13.
Oh, yeah.
So
It's from the
Wait,
guy
you
who
don't
did
like
Edge
it?
of Tomorrow, if you've seen that. The
Is
guy
it-
that-
Is it
Did it-
really?
Yeah, I didn't realize that until I heard it like the other day.
So
It was
it's
on a commercial.
bad that it's PG-13, or it's good that it is.
I mean, you don't really see like blood or anything. Of
course.
You know,
Ah.
it's a tamed.
I guess
movie.
that's okay, because I guess the more
You're
you're
making-
you
more
just
you
get-
do gore.
Dude, yeah, and I mean,
On a
PG-13,
$5
you
million
get
budget.
butts and seats with that. You get that whole audience, whereas R, you can't. But, yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't
It
bad.
looked interesting.
Yeah.
It really did. Did you guys see Blade Runner?
No.
Best
I heard
movie.
you didn't like it and you loved it.
Best fucking movie of the year.
I thought
So
it was
good.
very.
It was
I didn't
so
even
good.
not like it. I thought it was very okay. Like the way people were talking about, like this is one of the best movies we've seen, and this is what a sequel could be and stuff like that. I'm like, okay, hold your
With our
horses.
review,
Like,
I definitely convinced him on a few points.
I definitely,
and
the more I
was like-
reflected on it, the more I liked it.
I just want to say, now that we're live, Gooch claims he's never seen a bad movie, by the way. I just want to get that
I never
on
said
tape.
that.
No,
Yeah,
we
yeah,
said
That was
name a bad movie.
That was a joking comment. Come on.
we said name a bad movie,
Dude,
and you're like,
If off the top of my head, I know there's games I could tell you that are bad.
No,
What?
we didn't say games. We said
No, I
bad
know.
movie.
Even like
But like,
movies, I try and-
if I don't like a movie, I'll fucking let you know I don't like a movie.
All right, let us know.
But like, I can't think.
What was it, Batman vs Superman?
They put me on the spot, man.
Like
Put me
even
on
I
the
will
spot.
say with movies I don't like. I was listening to Kevin Smith's podcast today, and he said something that really kind of rang true with me. If I don't like about something, I'm probably just not going to talk about it in general. Like if I see a movie that I'm not going to like, I'm probably not going to go see it. And that's not like Blade Runner. That was one where I saw and I was actually like, oh, I didn't like, and that makes for a more interesting conversation, obviously. But I kind of just hate going out there and just shitting on something just for the sake of shitting.
Aimlessly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, right,
And
right.
don't get me wrong, a lot of fair criticism goes around about a lot of things. But at the same time, I can also see the other side. Also, with Blade Runner, it just a length is the big thing that
It's
I've
long.
had.
It is a
trouble
long.
with.
It's
like
it's
with
like
a lot of
almost 3
movies.
hours.
It's just it's too
like Batman vs Superman.
Yeah,
And
which
Justice League.
which
Justice League is
what's
almost 3
Justice
hours long. 250. 2 hours.
See, I
50
thought that was
minutes.
wrong. I thought it was 2:15.
No, 250.
I would
I
rather
want to look
be
into it,
250.
but yeah.
See, but like I like superhero movies.
Obviously,
to be
you're
long.
partisan to that too. Yeah, like there's a lot of
Like,
partisan stuff.
don't
going
tell me you want your superhero movie to be like 2 hours.
Yeah, I do. I think
In the case of Deadpool, it works, but in the case of where like
think
it's so
most-
meaty
Well, look at
fucking
the
movie-
new Thor. Isn't it going to be like an hour and a half?
and I think that's
Is it hour and a half?
Yeah.
I agree with the
No
fact of
way.
length doesn't equal. If you're starting out like a movie franchise or something, or like like say the first Spider-Man
Yeah.
or something like that, I think that has the right of being that longer movie because you got to go through obviously your origins and you're setting up some stuff. But when you get into your sequels and stuff, you don't need that 2 hour and 50-minute. I agree. I totally
also
agree.
think the
and
way-
it definitely depends on the movie I'm watching. But
I also think the way DC does it, they had to cram a lot of stuff in there because.
Oh yeah.
I mean, this is going
have to cram all that
but this
stuff.
is going to be
But
my
they
argument
did,
point
yeah.
is that Batman vs Superman, they crammed in like what was worth to me 2 movies, maybe 3 movies into one.
yeah,
movie.
And that is
You
a
know?
valid point. I would be very ignorant to be like, that's wrong. It's
I
a
just
fucking
say-
loaded movie.
let's roll into it right now.
Okay.
We'll get into the
Yeah,
We're already
all
talking about it.
All right.
Batman vs Superman. Obviously, we have some differences here. You guys are very stringently against it. We are. Even me, I'm not going to sit here and be like, this is the best movie ever. I fucking love
that's
this
how
movie.
you were.
That's how I
But like the way with me, it's more
I like it. Like, I'm
I
not
think
gonna
this
lie.
movie gets way more shit than it deserves for just I think a number of stupid reasons. Whereas like yeah, don't get me wrong, there's bad stuff. There's stuff where I'm like, what the fuck are you guys doing in that? But for the most part, I thoroughly found myself like enjoying this movie.
And
But-
we prepared an opening statement.
Huge. Roll it up.
Knock us out. Go
All right,
ahead.
so real quick, they are against Batman v Superman. We are for. We didn't say that. This wasn't
Right, wrong, whatever, however you want to call it.
However you
Alright.
want to label it, it's fine.
Batman v Superman. The John of Justice.
The John of Dustin.
The Delco version.
The Dawn of Justice has much more ground to stand on than it's given credit for. It is, to us, a good representation of what a dark, modern comic book movie can be. Of course, it has flaws, like any other movie, but we feel the good far outweighs the bad. Zack Snyder gives a new, more grizzled and experienced Batman, the likes of which we haven't seen on film, as well as a more realistic take on how the world might view Superman. Snyder has a directing style that is very poignant. Throughout the movie, we see many biblical references that evoke emotion responses and trigger deeper thought that we don't see in most other comic book movies, considering like Marvel-wise. The casting
Just in
choices
general.
were excellent, and they really fit Snyder's overall theme and aesthetic. BVS is a movie about questioning humanity's place in the world when a more powerful being enters it. It is dark, gritty, and violent, but from the ashes rises hope. Bruce Wayne sees the error in his ways and realizes Superman inspires hope throughout the world. And during times like this, hope is needed, especially for what's to come.
All right, can I just start off?
Go ahead and rip it.
Just rip into it.
Your
right
little
away.
your little section right here. The casting choices were excellent.
I think the casting.
I think they were great.
Right. Yeah. Jesse Eisenberg.
No, I thought he was fine. I really did.
For the
in the
le-
Hold on, Gooch. Just let me talk really quick.
Like, what if I just jumped across
I
the
think
table?
he worked totally fine for what the movie was. He was this little
wasn't
maniacal
over the
genius.
top.
I thought he was in the one scene. When he was in the party, I actually enjoyed that scene where he lost it and went a little crazy because I think that's showing that he snaps, whereas everyone views him as this like fine, upstanding citizen, and they didn't. And then everyone's.
You didn't just see Jesse Eisenberg playing Jesse Eisenberg in that movie. You think he was actually playing a version of Lex Luthor?
Yeah.
Because I saw Jesse Eisenberg and that's it.
Okay.
He was more closer to the Joker than Lex Luthor.
See,
Well,
maybe
that's a
the Riddler.
common. That's a common like.
I would give
statement.
Riddler
I
closer.
Riddler, Joker, like he didn't like Lex Luthor should be this menacing guy. This dude looked like a little scrawny bitch.
But it's
and
not
he was
Lex
like,
Luthor. It's Lex Luthor's
See,
son.
no, I don't even agree
like
with
that,
that.
But like they
I don't even.
they
want,
do.
yeah,
like,
I get that they're playing on that,
establish
but I don't even want to use that as an excuse. I think that this is definitely what was the last Lex Luthor we had? It was Cat
Smallville.
Spacey and Smallville. I actually did not see Smallville.
He's the best Lex Luthor.
You've seen all of Smallville, right?
All of
Because
it.
I can't talk to Smallville.
Yeah.
I haven't either. I that's one I need to go
He's
back
the
and watch.
best Lex Luthor.
I definitely think
He's
it's a
better
different
than
take.
AC and Gene Hackman and
Yeah.
And yeah, Gene was a Superman.
That was
like
also
the old
70s.
yeah.
Like, to be
and
honest-
that was a very hokey, very like
Right.
I'm wearing my wigs and I'm gonna
It
be the bad
can't be,
guy.
yeah.
But I don't know. I think his over the topness worked when it needed to work. Sure, it was a little odd, and maybe Lex
At some
Luthor.
points,
Maybe
yeah.
that's not the exact Lex Luthor we're used to. But I think it was a fine take on what Lex Luthor could be.
Yeah, like
And like I liked that like.
So you're saying you would have never? You think he was the perfect Lex for the movie?
Oh no, I wouldn't.
dude, you could.
Fit in Snyder's overall what?
Aesthetic.
Theme and
Garbage.
aesthetic.
We
Oh.
think it works, yes, for this.
What- so, like-
yes, I think that for what he set up, it works fine. Do I think that you maybe could have found someone a little bit better? I'm not going to know.
Yeah,
that.
like you could literally recast everyone, and imagine in another universe the whole cast is different.
The only
We'd probably be okay
three
with it.
people are the three main characters: Wonder Woman, Superman, Batman. I think they were cast great.
Yeah.
Everyone else, Alfred. He's supposed to be this like old, brittle old
He's
man.
like the same age as
and
Batman.
Jeremy Irons is like sitting
How
over
old
here.
is Jeremy Irons? Though? Do you know?
Jeremy Irons like 60s.
He's got to be in his 60s.
He's like 50s
right?
He
or
doesn't
60s.
look like it.
Yeah,
though.
but then but that's I still I
like
think
Michael Caine looked like an Alfred.
Yeah.
Spoke like an Alfred. This dude's like a tech genius or something in the back
See,
cave
but-
over there.
Yeah, but in most iterations of Batman, like Alfred does a lot of shit.
and
like,
he is
but he's
more young and
also-
more on that. I think he has that grizzled old person look, but at the same time he works that like that more middle-aged guy look. I don't know. I think he works perfectly for the Batman they set up and everything. I actually think Jeremy Irons is an awesome actor in general.
Yeah.
He's a great actor. Yeah.
But okay, I will say Jesse Eisenberg definitely plays the Jesse Eisenberg version of Lex Luthor.
Right.
That's not out of the question, because like if I said that wasn't true, that would be dumb, because he does play in the roles he plays. He's always like that Jesse Eisenberg, like it's him.
Yeah, and everything that he plays.
But like
Yeah.
I don't know, I really liked Lex Luthor in this movie just because like he was like his monologues and how crazy they were, but they were really like fucking cool and like deep at the same time.
I also
they
don't.
were out there.
And see, that's where a lot
but-
of this comes into. It's going to be subjective to where like how we view something. Like even the lines I do think are good, but that classic Lex Luthor, I just don't think will work in a movie.
See, the
I feel
question-
like he's this guy. I get it. He hates Superman, but we always get unless he gets his suit or something. It's all right. I got kryptonite for you, and I think that's just a fault with the character in general.
And he's super behind the scenes, and he's doing like shady stuff in businesses if he's not literally like shit talking Superman.
And I think that's what he was doing in this movie, and that's I guess just my view on his character. But also, I got a question for you guys with Batman and stuff like that. Overall, how did you feel like they treated him?
In what way?
Just in general, did you like that portrayal of the character in any way?
He's probably one of my top Bruce Waynes.
yeah,
But he's my least favorite Batman.
He's my number one Bruce Wayne.
yeah.
That's fair.
I'm going to
just,
say
like,
second for
he
me.
just
George
looks it.
Clooney. Just wait, hold on. In my
That movie doesn't even exist.
hold on. But in my defense, George Clooney's got like swag.
I
You know
will
what
give
mean?
it to no. I actually agree
Which
with
is
that.
a Bruce Wayne card. You know,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that's what I give Bruce Wayne.
No, I agree with that. Like the part where he's in Lex's house and
Yeah.
he's down in the basement and she's like, Mr. Wayne, what's going on? He's like, no, I'm sorry, I was looking for the bathroom. I like those shoes though. Like I don't know. I thought he was playing all that stuff very
He's like,
well.
yeah, the martini is really strong. Or something.
Yeah, I liked all that stuff, and even his Batman. So with his Batman, you probably didn't like how violent he was. I'd assume, right? Was that the
Yeah,
major?
that was.
Well,
a big
that's
point.
obvious.
And the use of a gun.
What,
Just, like, took
which
away
gun?
from it. At the end.
With I'm trying to. Oh, what with the rocket? With the grenade launcher?
Didn't he have a gun when he was fighting those?
It's a,
bad
But it's
guys?
like
grappling
it's a grappling hook, and
It's
then
a-
he has
it's-
this grenade launcher that launches.
It's a reference to
kryptonite,
reference to the Dark Knight Returns because he has a grappling hook sniper in that.
Yeah. Oh, what the
reference.
sniper rifle? Yeah, that was a
grappling
no, it was a tracking gun. He shot a tracker
Oh,
onto it,
is
and then
it?
he followed. Yeah,
But he
yeah.
does grapple
and in
with
the and in that
In
one
the comic book, he does.
flashback or dream that he has, he's just mowing people down.
No, and that is the fault of the movie because one thing that this movie relies heavily on, and I don't think it's fair, and I will give you that, is that you have a big comic book knowledge of the DC universe. Because with me, with that whole dream sequence, I'm able to with me knowing that, I'm able to be like, oh wait, I can kind of see, or I actually can get like what they're going for here. Like this is supposed to be, what I assume is supposed to be a future where. I don't know why he's having this future vision. I will say that. He's having this future vision of where Superman goes off the rails and Lois Lane dies, basically. And you see all these guys with the Superman patches, and he's basically, I think the idea is he's taking over the world. Batman at this point is driven to the point of where he can't care about not killing someone. And even in the present day timeline, if you want to call it, the way I see it, and we were at Comic-Con, and in the comics in the 80s when he lost Jason Todd, Batman, to the Joker when he got killed, he really started. He didn't give a shit as much about what he was doing. He'd get injured a lot. He started to spiral. He had very bad mental issues. Alfred had to pull him out of it. And I see this as a Batman that And then what got him back up though was Tim Drake coming along, and he was that new Robin to kind of lift his spirit.
Yeah.
But this is a universe where he didn't get Tim.
Yeah,
Drake,
so
where no one came in to give him that like kind of shine of hope.
Yeah,
to
we
get
don't
back on
know.
track.
Like, I would love to see Tim Drake Robin. I think everyone would be like,
Yeah.
we need a Robin and a Batman.
Right.
And we're in the in between point where it is Jason Todd, but they haven't said it. Jason Todd is dead. The Joker has killed Jason Todd.
Yeah.
And he, like, to quote the movie, 20 years in Gotham. Like, this Batman has been at this for 20 fucking years, and he sees some shit. So, like, you expect him to be dark. He can't,
You guys do got me thinking though about Alfred with the. I do want to look up how old he is and how I think he looks the part, and I think he's fine for it. But I would like to see the actual age difference.
He
between
looks,
the characters.
he looks the same age in the movie. As
If he was
Batman.
like 30
Yeah.
when Bruce is 12, that works, and like that would make sense of like the age difference, because he's been at it for, like, I think they said like he's supposed to be proactive in Gotham at this point for 30 years.
20 years.
Well, at least. But
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure even longer than that he's been active since his, like, 30s.
Yeah, so you can assume he's literally versed most of his rogues gallery by now, if not all.
And I do like
Yeah.
the idea of that, I guess, a lot. Like, that this is just kind of set up. Do you guys wish we saw that, I guess, is the thing, right? You want more...
well, yeah,
It's too much going into one.
That's what I
wanted us
said.
to
Like,
believe that Batman's been doing this and that, and we didn't get to see any of it.
right,
You know?
or at least his
but
version. You know
I
what
think
mean?
it's easy for people like us who know the character to step into those shoes of not knowing and being like, okay, I get it.
No, and that shouldn't
How
be...
many of us are
Exactly,
there?
and that's
True,
why I
that's
can't
where
say-
it goes back. The fact that this is a loaded movie and, like, comic book fans, like, know this shit, you don't need to tell us. Like, the
And that's
whole
where
nightmare
even-
sequence is a...
We differ
There was
a lot.
there was 2 dream sequences, and it was a dream within a dream.
What, with the Flash and then the
Yeah.
nightmare sequence?
What was that, actually?
See, that's the one part, like, if he set that up to more definitively say, like, oh, this isn't a dream, this is him actually just experiencing it, like the Flash came
Yeah,
back and
I
told him
don't-
about this. He just, I will agree, it was a very confusing way of presenting it.
And how is the
that's-
Flash sequence a dream?
I don't think it's a dream.
It can't be, right?
It's
Because
not.
he didn't know who the Flash was before.
I think it's the Flash literally coming into his...
He even says,
Like
he
Flashpoint
comes
Paradox,
back
man.
and goes, Bruce, you were right about him.
It's Lois
Lois
Lane.
is the key, Lois, and then he notices, he's like, oh shit, he's like, oh no, I'm too early, I came back too early.
Yeah.
You were right about him, you're right, and he's talking about, so that's what leads me to believe that he is somehow, that's the thing, you don't know.
Okay.
How is he having this vision of this future, and then how, and then that should have just been Flash
Let me
coming back.
talk real quick.
All right.
So, Flash... I think the way I represent that whole thing is Flash is obviously coming into that Bruce Wayne's present. And in doing so, he gives that Bruce Wayne a vision of his future. Because he's breaking the time
Because he's with the
barrier.
Speed Force.
That's the way I interpret it. I think
and
that makes
that's
a
a
lot
very-
of fucking sense.
It does, but that's another very... See, this is... Me and him, I'm different from you guys where I don't think this is a bad movie at all. You really love this movie,
Yeah, I really
to,
like this movie.
to a T, whereas I totally see the faults. And there are...
It's not
like,
that I
those-
don't see the faults.
Oh, of course.
I definitely do. But
No,
I
but
just
I see-
I
I
like
don't
to
think-
say positive
I don't think
about
you
it.
care about the faults because
As much
you
as,
like
like-
it so much.
That's probably true. Yeah.
You know?
Which is fair. You know, I mean, everybody has.
And I guess you have your,
Yeah.
your guilty pleasure movie, and obviously we're a little bit wrong on this one easily because you see the critical response and all that.
Yeah.
But in my defense, I do think that this movie does present a lot of things in some different ways, and what they're trying to do right now, DC, which I just don't think that they can do, and I know they can't, they're trying to play catch up with Marvel. In like
Yeah.
really
Talk
quick.
about a 22 movie.
But and at the same time, they don't even need to play catch up so fast. Start your movies out. Do it slow. People
Yeah.
will still enjoy
Yeah.
them. People will like them. And I
like
think
Wonder
that
Woman.
it was awesome. And
Yeah.
I really think that they could own the market on Elseworld movies where that they aren't like one thing Marvel doesn't do. They're all connected. Every single movie is part of the Marvel universe. I think DC could own the market on these movies that are one shots. You can get some really good actors that aren't going to go in for a multi-picture deal. Do this really cool out there story. And really on the market. Like, I would love to... Like, we heard about this Joker movie.
Not about it,
And,
by the
and
way.
he's not
I'm
about
not
it.
about
And not
that.
a lot of people are about it. And I totally get it. And I wasn't about it when I first heard it. But then they were like, all right, well, they want Scorsese's producing, and they really want Leo. Obviously,
No,
this is
no.
all wants, and we don't know
Well,
this happening.
Scorsese is producing.
Yeah, he is. And we
Well,
want...
fuck Leonardo DiCaprio.
Like,
As
Dude,
you
we
said.
don't
We don't
great
need
as
him.
he is.
We
yeah, I
don't
agree. I don't
need
think
him.
we need him.
We don't
I don't
need
think
him.
we need him either, but if I'm going to get this movie and they're going to do it anyways, and you tell me I don't think we need Joker needs an origin, and you tell me Scorsese's producing it and then Leonardo DiCaprio is starring in it, I think that's enough star power for me to be like, you know what?
It's
Go
still
for
not
it.
going to get an Oscar. It
No, and
still won't get an Oscar.
So
That's not what it's going
That's not
for.
what I'm going
Yeah,
for.
I know, but like,
you're having. I want to have fun with these movies to where we're not.
But you're gonna
Couple.
go watch it regardless if it was Scorsese and
True, I'm gonna see it.
And
like
that's-
they could
Yeah,
put
that's Ennio.
they could put
That's
you know
Ennio.
Aris and then have Gucci as the joke, and you're still gonna go watch it.
And yeah,
You know,
and I'm
just
not
because
saying
it's a comedy.
Gucci and the Pussycats.
But at the same
I
time,
can see
I
it would be
don't-
good, right?
That'd be good.
I am super, and I think the average person is way more inclined to go see that when you see those type of names attached to it. And I think
Well, look at
they
Wonder
could-
Woman.
Yeah.
No one really knew Gal
Nobody knows
Gadot.
who Gal Gadot is.
And then Chris Pine, like he doesn't have the star power. Everyone went to
I
go
would
see
kind
it
of
now.
disagree. I think Chris Pine's a really good actor.
He's a great actor.
Yeah,
I don't
but
think he has
He's
the star
underrated. He's not blown up.
You know?
Yeah.
Like-
He's in a lot of shit, but he's not fucking like Ben Affleck.
Like you
Right.
can't sell a movie with just Chris Pine. I mean, look at
That's fair.
the Jack Ryan movie
Right.
that he made. It was all right,
Yeah.
but you know,
Oh, they're rebooting that, which is funny.
With
fucking
John
Jim.
Krasinski.
That's actually
That
I
looks
watched
awesome.
Jack Ryan. I didn't hate it.
No, I
It
didn't
was
hate it
fine.
either. It was
I
Yeah.
know, I never seen it. Anyway, back to Batman v Superman.
Anyway, back at the.
But yeah, as you were saying,
we-
I think they crammed way too much, which was the first point I made. But like, you're right. They don't have to do that. How are you gonna bring up the tension? How many movies did it take to get our first Avengers movie
Yeah,
in the
and
Marvel universe?
One
like
thing I will give to
6,
Batman and Superman
Right? It was the Iron Man.
Iron Man 1 and 2.
was Iron Man 1, 2.
Thor.
Hulk was the
Hulk was the starter.
Right.
Or actually the second one after Iron Man.
Iron Man was the star. Yeah, it was
Captain
Hulk.
America.
And then
There's one
Avengers.
Avengers?
Avengers followed Captain America 1. It definitely did. I don't know. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Iron
no,
Man
I
1
know.
and 2, Hulk,
Thor.
and
Captain
Captain
America.
America.
Oh, it
So
was 5.
so it had
Five movies to
going
get
into
to
that.
one.
And one thing I will say about
We had
DC more than
3.
Marvel is that I feel like Batman and Superman are much. If you ask anyone around the world who those characters are, they know.
Everyone knows it, yeah.
It goes Batman, Superman, Spider-Man for like really notability. And I think with Batman they can get
Before
away.
the MCU. Because now,
Totally, yeah.
now
Everyone
you
knows
say
it.
Iron Man, Captain
Well, no,
America.
And that's true. They did bring them up on the other.
Even then, I still say Batman, Superman, and actually Wonder Woman's the biggest
Superman's-
woman icon for.
Yeah, that's the
Batman,
Trinity
Superman,
is-
and Wonder Woman are the only comic book characters to stay in print since their conception, which is very interesting.
That's huge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think that you can get away. You guys didn't like Man of Steel, did you?
I love Man of Steel.
Did you
Man of
like
Steel,
it? Okay.
Man of Steel, I thought was okay because it's tough to make a Superman movie.
I think it is too.
It really
I think
is.
it's-
Because
No, it was a good
you're
movie.
taking this
I
iconic
can appreciate
character. You're taking this iconic character, whereas we were just saying everybody knows almost everything about
Yeah, and
Superman.
he's
or
big blue
basic.
Boy Scout, of course.
And you
And
have
it's
to
like
humanize
nothing
him.
can go wrong.
That's
you know?
the issue with Superman, humanizing him. He's not a fucking human,
Yeah.
and he's perfect. Like
Yeah.
you can't relate.
And
so
Henry
do you guys
Cavill
not
plays
how,
a
like,
great
how,
Superman.
Like people call him mopey in this. He is.
No,
But, like,
I
okay,
think he deals with
definitely
it.
is mopey.
Going to one of
Yeah.
my points where like the world's realistic view on Superman, dude. Like if Superman was fucking real, that shit that happens in BVS,
It
the
would be-
controversies would be endless.
It would
like,
be constant political debate, but I do see
Yeah.
at the same time that we don't need to see that.
And how,
But,
what,
the-
the
I do
controversy. People don't know who, and I've always hated this with Superman. The glasses come off; they don't know who he is. So Superman just doesn't
Clark
have
Kent.
to show up to these court hearings
got
and all
two
this
Clark
and
Kents
that.
right here.
And
True.
if he like didn't show up to the court where the amputee had the bomb, they're not blaming Superman because guys, he wasn't there.
yeah, but
Yeah.
showed
He was
up.
too
And I
busy
guess-
banging Lois
He
I
did
think
the
the
mistake
idea, though, is that
of
he's
trying
such
to
a-
appeal to
because he
humanity.
wants people to like him.
Exactly, and I think, and that's what I like about this movie. I get that he is quote unquote mopey, but at the same time, he's like, I'm seeing everyone on TV fucking talk about me all day. They say I'm fucking up. They say I'm not good enough. I'm trying to fucking just help people, and everyone's just shitting on me.
And in,
so I'm
in a
a little
way,
pissed off.
he
But
is
when he
human.
does that, it looks like he's doing it for himself rather than doing it to help people. You know what I mean? Like he's going there to
Really?
prove to people that like, hey, you should like me. Like I'm helping you. He doesn't have to prove that.
See, I didn't find that. I found that he is doing it to help them, but at the same time, I guess he just it bums him out that a lot of people aren't. It's like you. This is a very kind of dumb analogy, maybe it is, but you have a YouTube star, you get all those awful comments. If you pay attention to those awful comments, you're going to be mopey all day. And I'm saying maybe you're right. That's just that's
Yeah.
kind of a stupid excuse, and maybe just don't pay attention to those stupid
Right.
comments. But if you see on the news, you are this gigantic figure. You are literally saving people every
world's
day.
superstar,
The
yeah.
world knows you. I think that takes a toll on your mind, and I think he plays that very well.
in
my opinion.
Billy's defense of what he was saying, I think like one of the scenes where like the girl, like there's the S painted on the
Mm-hmm.
house and the girl standing there, and this is Snyder's biblical reference. Superman is God. and like he like.
Well, yeah, it's that Savior
and
complex. He's in the light. He's shining.
light.
Yeah, and then the girl's reaching up to him, and like that. Maybe that's him like being that figure. But
I have a little problem with that scene too.
Sure.
Okay. I think it's a cool scene.
It's flooding. Your house is getting, and the one thing you're like, let me just bring the paint up so I can paint something. For a guy that I don't even know is going to show up.
Well, but what if you were painting us?
Yeah, but
I
it's
don't
Superman.
think that's that out there. I don't know. I think
Superman
that's like,
always shows up to
say
that
you
shit,
grab
though.
some like you're not even obviously you're taking a leap of like yeah sure maybe they just grab the spray paint or the paint to paint like an
You also
SOS
gotta
like
think it's like a
But
last
you went
chance
SOS and then you
call.
went Superman symbol.
Fuck it. Let's just.
Well,
paint
In
you
a
it
know
out.
town that
he's out.
Superman's not even in.
but
Mind
he
you, it was
saves
a pretty
everyone.
good
Like that's the thing you hear. I don't think that's too out there.
What were you going to say? You were going to say he hears it, right?
And no, yeah, he does hear stuff. And what you're gonna say the Martha thing
Yeah.
when he was hearing?
Why
they
couldn't-
get to him and they I don't know.
Yeah,
I think you can
that's
make
that's a plot hole.
that logical leap of that they got her or they trank her. She's not screaming.
Why was she gagged when they had her in the chair at the warehouse?
Well,
she?
she was.
Was she?
Yeah. I
don't
could have
remember.
sworn she was.
Yeah, I'm not.
I'd have to rewatch. I really would.
I don't think she was.
I'm
because-
99% sure she was.
Because
but
when Batman went up to her, she didn't. I don't think she had something on her mouth after he like beat. The
I mean,
crap out of
mind
her.
you, she like went out the window at that point, so
Yeah.
it could have fallen out.
No, I know, and I think, and like Superman, I really do think is like you have to put a limit on his power at some point, or else
Yeah.
how do you develop
Even in video
a story?
games.
Even
Yeah, that's what I'm
you just-
saying. It's
it
it's
is
tough to do with
It
Superman.
really is.
anything.
But
There's some really cool comics out there, and I think it really does. Superman does well when you're dealing with that. Superman's an immigrant at heart. That's the story. It's a story of an immigrant, and when you're kind of dealing with those tales, and like your man not on Earth, like the man from the moon, he's a fish out of water. I think that's when he works the best. But when he is just going up against a superpowered person, it's punching. I get it. He's laser eyeing, and it's tough to do.
the best bet is to play off of like the lives of the innocent people are in the scene. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And like they didn't in Man of Steel, they kind of did it, but like in Batman vs Superman, everything's just going like nuts. You know what I mean? He's not sweeping up people from the buildings like you've seen in other movies
and I get
comics.
the whole idea.
I think they're not
Like that's
painting
what
him.
slows him down.
They're not
you know?
painting
I
him
agree.
in that like the Christopher Reeve Superman. I don't know. Like it's definitely a different take, and that's a good point of how it is different.
It's not like the pop-up colors like he saves a kitten out of a tree. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
and it's like- yeah,
Right,
right,
interested
right.
to
The
see.
wind's blowing perfectly. Just
Yeah.
cape to
just
grace.
below that cave.
Everyone had a problem with Man of Steel because of all the destruction, right? Yet they did more of it in.
See, but I think
That's
the
what
thing
I'm
was
saying,
it wasn't
like-
it was the length of the scene, and also that they were destroying. He was just destroying this city with people in it,
Yeah,
and
he
like
didn't
just
care.
totally. But
Which is- I get
you do
that.
hear them say in this they're
It's
in
like
a
a
sector
secluded area.
that's deserted, that no one's around, and so they can kind of go.
I-
and that's one problem. Even with Wonder Woman, it gets very, as I like to say, Snydery at the end. It gets gray. It gets kind of muddy. There's a lot of action going on, and you're like, what's
With
going on?
Wonder Woman, it's understandable though.
Totally. And like Wonder Woman, even at the end there, I think that they could have less muddied it up. The Ares looked a little gray, and that's just something I think that this movie does suffer from. There's a little too less color.
Speaking to Wonder Woman, the way she thinks in BVS and the way she thinks at the end of this don't match up.
The way all right, so yeah, that's what bothers me the
It
most.
makes sense.
She's thinking more Batman in Batman vs Superman than Batman has in the entire movie or any reference
Well,
to
I
Batman
think
in
the
this
idea is
series.
that setting up that there's more sequels to the point of where you see her hate humanity before she gets.
Yeah, it's not like
Batman
she
and
was
Superman.
like I had a like I was dark and like whatever, and then I came from the light with Superman. Like there was no explanation to that. I'm like,
But how do you outsmart the smartest man in the DC universe? That's
Lex
what
Luthor
bothers.
is.
Well, between Lex and Batman, but Batman is like retarded in this. Like Bruce Wayne is cool, right? Don't get me wrong, but like Batman. Here's the thing. Here's the biggest thing in all of history of Batman vs Superman. The key to Batman is he's a detective.
Yeah.
He would have He would have known that what's his name was Superman. Clark Kent was Superman.
Right off the bat. And
Right
so
off the
you don't
bat.
even know.
He would have known way
At
before
that
the
party,
party.
though, no, I agree, but I don't even think
He would have
we're
had the
supposed to know that.
kryptonite by then.
I really liked that scene because I was like, it made me think like, wait, does he know him? Like the way that they were talking to each other.
And what
But
about Lex in that scene too? Why is he excited for a reporter and a billionaire?
Because he knows who they are.
yeah.
He knew at that point
Yeah,
who they were.
Yeah.
So-
he knew.
so
that's
he
what.
does.
My thing is, Lex knew before Batman knew.
Yeah, I get. See,
You know what I mean? That's like
And that's a
there
fair-
is no
hey,
Batman
Yeah, but like,
detective in
why
this.
the
There's
hell
just
would Bruce Wayne give a shit
guy
about
with
And that's one
But-
thing I feel
And
like
also, why didn't Clark Kent know who Bruce Wayne was when he
yeah.
was reporting in Gotham?
but he didn't want to go over to Gotham.
But he was there, and it's also Bruce Wayne. Like, you
No,
feel
yeah.
like we know most billionaires.
No, that's definitely one where you're like,
You know,
why wouldn't he know who
Yeah.
it is? That's totally fair. I'll give that to you.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
especially as a reporter.
yeah,
No, totally.
yeah.
Yeah.
No,
if I'm
Even
walking
he's
by
got-
Bill
fair
Gates,
point.
like yeah,
Very
Yeah.
fair.
And I have heard that one before, and it totally makes
It's
sense.
totally fair.
But I thought that whole scene, and I just totally lost my train of thought. What I was going to say.
Talking about Lex.
It was Lex Luthor sucks, and then no.
It's like,
He
you know
said
what?
it. Write it down.
It's done. It's one.
So what else about the movie sucked? Go ahead, Trio.
Hold on. We'll go back to one thing. So we talked about Batman casting. Did you guys like the music in this, or did you not at all?
No.
You didn't think it spoke out to you at all?
I like it.
I thought the movie, like, that's one thing I will
I
give
think
to.
there's a lot of
It adds more color
Pinnacle
than
of,
Marvel
the
does.
pinnacle of movie scores.
the music. The music didn't bother me as much. The sound bothered me. Like when Batman was in that fighting scene, the one with where he's saving Martha. It was silent, and all you heard was pop, 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 beep, pop, boom, boom, boom.
And
No,
everything's
it
got a
sounded
lot
like a
of
fight.
Dude,
everything's got a lot of tremolo.
it
It's
was-
like whoa, 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 whoa.
It was very like.
I
Dude,
just-
I think
flat.
the music puts you in the scene, and like when you hear
I-
the Batman theme, you know. When you hear
But
the
I
Superman,
but
agree with
it
you.
didn't
The
go with the
music
rest
has
of the
more
movie.
color than any Marvel
It
movie.
didn't go with the
Marvel
rest of the
movie,
movie. It
you-
was like this one scene. Let's not have any sound or music or whatever. Just
See, but I thought that scene's my favorite scene out of the whole
it is the
I
best
think-
scene in the movie.
I think the sound's awesome on it. I like that we're just hearing him literally. You're hearing the force of
the
his
grunts.
fucking punch hitting people, and I think the idea was to convey how much he can fuck
he's
you
a
up,
fucking
even
savage.
even if he is a human
This
being.
Batman doesn't
And
give
even-
a fuck about
Like
them.
I really do. Like that was that fight scene where I was like, and maybe that's half the reason I love that movie. Might be that fight
and
scene
that
in the
punch
end.
when he puts
But-
him into the ground, like, oh my god.
I really think that movie, I mean, that scene embodies what I would love. Like, that's Batman's fighting style. That's why he is on the level of these superheroes, even though he is a human being. And I thought, I can't remember the sound in any specific way. I thought it was fine. It sounds like punches, and it sounds like all his things.
it's just like it seems like there was
They're
an empty
deep.
space. Like there wasn't. I don't know. It was weird.
Like when he dropped, I just love that he goes under, and then he pops up from the thing, he's on top.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
Dude,
so
it was
he
the best
popped
scene in
up,
the movie.
The grappling hook broke through the first one,
Well, I think.
and then didn't have to.
Well,
it didn't
no,
break
I
through the
think
second
he
one.
had. I'm assuming he put an explosive that blows up. As that's blowing up, he shoots through the grappling hook. He uses that as cover to get on top of them, and then he shoots all the.
We'll never know.
We won't.
So,
I think that's just.
speaking of the score, like if Marvel movie scores memorable, yes or no?
No, because and
Because they
you
suck.
know what?
They all suck.
There was a YouTube video that actually points
Yes,
it out.
yes.
And I was like,
They're all bad.
because I was thinking about it too, and I was like, you know what? They make a very great point. However, I do like the score in this movie.
Yeah, dude,
I
the
will give
score
it
is
to you.
fucking fantastic. Again,
Wasn't
like
it
all,
Hans Zimmer?
It had
Yes,
more
yeah, and
tension.
Chunky XL, he's like a DJ.
Yeah.
But like all the scores and all the themes fit the characters. Like when Lex's theme come on, it's like, wow, this is a fucking Lex Luthor theme if I've heard it. Like,
I do. It does add some more dramatic elements in it.
it
for
puts
me,
you in
and
the moment, and it just creates like Marvel's just like that same fucking sound. Literally the same like Avengers theme is
yeah.
in every Marvel movie, and they play
it's
it.
very
That
subtle.
movie,
It is very
that movie
subtle.
was like they play it safe.
Yeah.
And that is true. Their
and that's
music
fine.
is not.
And they have
anything
their
crazy.
formula at this point, and hey, that's fine. I enjoy
The
Marvel
movies are
stuff.
still great,
They're,
yeah.
they're great. I saw Guardians of the Galaxy 2. I loved all.
That soundtrack was great.
See, but that's
the
another.
soundtrack.
I don't think
Yeah,
it's
there's
even
the music, yeah.
They did this in Suicide Squad. A lot of movies are relying on old music to invoke a feeling
30s
that I just
rock.
don't like,
Yeah.
and it really kind of.
I don't
It's
know,
actually
dude.
a
Hooked
little.
on a feeling.
I don't
no.
That was awesome.
I'm not saying that about Guardians. The Guardians coined it. They
And
made it
Come
work
and
so
Get Your
well,
Love
and they
from
killed
the
it. But
beginning.
in general now, like I'm saying, even more with Suicide Squad, this is not against it. There are obvious music cues to make you feel a certain way, and it's just like, well, think deeper than that. Like that's what I do like about Batman vs Superman. It has its own
original.
score, and it really kind of, at least for me,
Real quick.
it brings me into that.
Did you like Suicide Squad?
I thought it was okay. I liked the beginning a lot,
it
and I
sucks.
hated the end.
super okay. Like it's like I walked out of the movie and I was like,
listen,
fuck.
the last half I hated. I was like, what the fuck is going on here?
It's like every other.
The villain should have been the Joker.
first half I actually I liked. I thought I liked the whole.
Yeah, it wasn't bad, the
I
introduction.
thought all the
Yeah.
introductions were cool. I really Deadshot's introduction was awesome. I thought Harley's was really cool.
Harley
I know
Quinn was the
people
best one out of
Harley
all.
I
Quinn
know people give-
that was the best cast.
Leto
Joker should have been the
stuff-
villain, and that's the
Yeah.
way the movie would have been better.
I-
That's it.
The Suicide
And
Squad's not meant to go
Jared
up against.
Leto as a Joker just didn't do it for me.
I thought
I don't
he
think
was.
we've seen enough.
I just thought he was okay. I was watching it actually the other day, and the scene when he gets on there's a scene where I really like what he does. He gets on the guy's lap. It's Ike, whatever. Ike, but he's in the chair and he comes in and he's like, oh, you want to be my friend? Like the way he gets in his space and he gets really weird with him. I think that's super jokery, and I think if we saw more of that, we might have liked it. But like we said, we never know.
Plus, they tried modernizing everybody.
You know what my problem with DC is? Their casting choices. Like when you see the movie, you're not like, I can't see anyone else playing that. It could be anybody.
I will say for
With
Superman, for
Mar-
me, that kind of works a little.
With Marvel, like you can't see anybody else playing Iron Man, Captain America, Thor. I mean, Chris Hemsworth.
he is Thor.
He's
Yeah,
Thor.
he is Thor.
Yeah.
And
Like-
that's true.
You know, everyone in that movie is cast perfectly. Black Panther, Doctor Strange. We have Benedict Cumberbatch as Doctor Strange.
That was the
for
one that
Christ's sake.
was. I was just like, all right, you guys must be listening to me because
Like,
this is
yeah, they like. Are they in my head? Like,
and
Marvel knows
They just
what
know
we
what they're
want.
doing.
They
Yeah.
know what they know what we want, and they're just like, fuck it. If you're paying for it, here you go.
And that's true. And I think that's
We'll
going
make
to
it
come with
happen.
Yeah, and it
DC getting
works.
more into like the I think when I heard Jared Leto as the Joker, I did like before seeing anything, I was like, I think that could be really cool. And Harley Quinn with Margot Robbie.
That was perfect.
That was the
She
best.
is-
That was the best.
That's the best
casting.
casting.
the
in a
way
DC
she
movie.
looks, the way she walks,
Yeah.
she just works it. And Deadshot, Will Smith.
Wasn't a fan.
You weren't?
No.
I actually,
I think it's pretty
I
good.
really enjoyed
He
him.
played Will Smith in the movie. Like he does.
Yeah, I love Will Smith,
I
but
love
like,
him too. Yeah.
Yo, Will
I-
Smith.
I thought he played Deadshot. I actually really enjoyed it. I thought he worked. Enchantress was like, what the fuck are we doing? Cara Delevingne, I just don't think is a
She's
good
not.
actress.
Yeah.
Who else? I actually really liked El Diablo by the end.
Yeah,
I
he
thought
wasn't
they
bad.
actually developed him
Yeah,
the
he's
best, surprisingly, out of all.
he's a C-lister, you know.
Which I thought, but they made me like him for being a C-lister, so I gave him that. But yeah, it was okay. I thought the splash pages were actually like when they do like Deadshot and then it freezes. I was like, oh, that's cool. That's like a splash page out of a comic book or something. I thought there were some cool elements. David Ayer is a good director.
Yeah.
I think if you give him the leeway. If DC can take anything from Wonder Woman, it's just get good directors and let them do their fucking job.
If DC takes anything from Wonder Woman, it's let go of Zack Snyder. That's exactly what it is. I have no problem with him. I love a lot of his movies.
He shouldn't be
Just
the one
not
to.
DC.
He shouldn't. Man of
I agree with
Steel.
that.
That's awesome, dude. You did a good job. Okay job. I wouldn't say great.
Man of Steel isn't the greatest movie.
No,
ever.
I'd say it's
But-
great in my opinion, but yeah,
Move on.
Joseph.
Move on.
He's not the
gave
guy you want
3
to-
movies.
he's not the guy you want to shepherd your universe, and I would agree with
And
that.
after Batman vs Superman, why was DC like
Justice
what?
League.
Yeah, here you go.
I think it's like
Look at Avengers.
like
And
I
see,
said, they're
look at
cramming.
the reason I do
After
hate-
Avengers 2, Marvel just like he said he left, but he didn't leave.
who Whedon.
Yeah.
Oh well, no, they had like I do believe him because he had a ton. They were putting a ton
after
of fucking
Age of
strict-
Ultron?
Yeah, I'm
they were
pretty sure
giving-
Marvel just like, yo, bro.
Well, no, they were giving him so much stuff that he had to jam into the movie that I think he really did leave, and I think he was just done with it. And I mean, he's on Justice League now. I am so curious, just in general. As to
I don't
how
think
that
you're going to see the difference between
Justice League and
Whedon and Snyder.
and Snyder. You don't think so at all?
So, since we're talking about Snyder, like, one thing I don't like about Marvel is none of their movies are dark. And they don't depict anything bad. And this is where I think Infinity War, hope they kill some fucking people, and it gets dark.
I mean,
because it
Hulk
needs to.
wasn't not dark.
But like, who remembers
Hulk. Very
Wait,
good
hold on,
point.
Captain America.
Winter Soldier is the darkest movie.
Yeah,
and
that
it's
is
the best
definitely-
Marvel movie because it depicts.
Civil War is pretty
Hydra,
dark.
But
too,
you also
though.
got to think, none
Say
of the
what?
characters
Civil War,
really
like
dark.
It is in some
it's
points.
dark. It's just
There's
because
too
like
many
it's
jokes.
so.
I guess
but
I'm looking
many
for.
jokes.
But no one's that serious.
I
in
guess
life.
what he's saying. Yeah,
True,
no. I guess what
true,
he's. I
but-
wouldn't even say like going as Snyder dark as he did, but I think what Gucci's trying to say like the Dark Knight dark. In that way.
Or
Of,
Watch-
like,
Snyder-
but,
Watchmen
yeah,
dark.
but Snyder goes so dark in a world that doesn't exist. No world is that dark. Like
Batman.
even right now. But I'm saying they're trying to have like this real life, real world feel.
Yeah.
Even us, like in America and the world over here, and we have natural disasters. No one's
Millennials.
that dark.
Goddamn
I mean,
Like,
millennials.
we always see.
I think
Sons
the
of
world
bitches.
itself, like Gotham's supposed to be absolutely shitty place.
Yeah.
Metropolis is fine. I don't think it's that dark.
But
and
they're a
I
mile
guess,
apart in this movie too. Right?
well,
Yeah.
well, they actually
A
are
bay.
in the right. They're in the
A bay.
right states. I actually thought that was a fine. It's like whatever. Who cares? They're cities across the bay, and this is the idea. So
Yeah.
Gotham's in New Jersey. Metropolis is in New York. I think that's fine.
Shouldn't Metropolis be in Kansas?
Yeah.
No, Metropolis is in New York.
Is it?
And
That's what it's
Gotham is
normally
always in
supposed
New
to be.
Jersey.
Yeah.
Yeah. They don't say it, but it's very much
Yeah.
implied that it's
No.
in New Jersey.
Metropolis.
I don't
is
know why.
I've looked it up. Because
Yeah.
I've been confused
I
about it.
thought.
Oh wait, whoa!
I'll check it again.
Like
I'm
like
Well, I mean,
like
like-
Smallville is in Kansas. Star City is in like somewhere near Chicago.
That is one thing.
Central City's over there too.
Smallville's in Kansas, but in Smallville they depict Metropolis as being like.
Metropolis, Illinois, right? Like, no. Kansas. No,
Yeah,
what
thought
am
it
I
was
saying?
Kansas.
How much?
Yeah.
Hey, we'll look it up.
Yeah.
Where
I'll
is
go Metropolis. You do Gotham. Or I can't.
Well,
speak-
Gotham's
supposed to be
definitely
a
New
mix.
Jersey.
A
Gotham's
mix of New York, New Jersey, but I think
Gotham's
it's,
New Jersey. It's
I
supposed to
looked
be
it up.
like
I'm like, because like again, like where the fuck is Central City? Like they never like stated
Right.
like where
And not
it
only
is.
that,
Okay.
for them not to know each other and they're just a bay
Metropolis
away.
is a fictional city appearing in blah, 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 is depicted as a massive city in the northeastern United States
There you
within
go.
close proximity of Gotham City.
Okay, all right, fair
so
enough.
Makes sense.
I just think that's like one.
But which makes the point even worse for Batman not researching Superman and Superman not knowing anything about Batman. You know what I mean? Well, not even Superman. Clark Kent not knowing anything about Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
And I think, well,
Yeah.
I actually
Valid point.
really
Yeah.
liked the first scene of this movie. I think it sets it up well for why Bruce Wayne doesn't like Superman. I don't think
Oh,
until
it
that
makes a lot of
Metropolis
sense.
battle, I'm assuming Batman wasn't aware that Superman was even around.
I mean, that was
But
like the
that's
day
his
fucking
coming-
Superman dropped.
That was Superman's
you know.
quote unquote coming out day. That's when he was let known to the whole city.
I love the title.
And
the humanity.
I do think that's a
Kind of
great
Superman.
point of where
Yeah.
he should know, and I thought about this before, he should know more. He really should, being Batman, and
See, like the
Even, like-
beginning where they first meet, right? Where it like
when
they
he's in
start
the
getting
car?
into each other. That's when Bruce Wayne, like this should have been a Batman movie. After that, it should have turned into a Batman movie, and it should have been like, all right, Batman's going to start working. He's going to start being a detective now. He's going to find out, Clark Kent is Superman.
that's one thing Batman movies
should have
in
been a
general,
Batman
I feel like
movie.
it really screw the pooch on is we never see him detectiving.
No.
Even in like
Yeah.
The Dark Knight,
The
Dark
that
Knight,
weird
you
like
kinda
bullet.
see it.
Yeah, there was that weird like bullet reconstruction scene. And I'm like, how are you even doing this? Like, what is going on? I don't understand.
Yeah.
This is weird detect. I want to see.
They show it in the games, but like
Yeah, I want to see a
games
noir
are
Batman
incredible.
fucking
Yeah.
movie where he's investigating a goddamn crime.
But
and
Maybe that's
the
what we'll get with the Batman if we ever get
Yes,
it.
and I hope it's Deathstroke, and maybe like I'm thinking like Joker sends Deathstroke after Batman or something. Like I don't know. Like we don't even know what the fuck that movie is.
So
if
at
it
this
ever gets
point,
made.
I'm
Yeah.
curious. At this point, do you guys think this universe is savable in any shape or form?
Absolutely.
yeah, it is.
Absolutely.
But
I think
only
it could be
because
savable.
even when I was going into Batman vs Superman, I wanted it to be good.
We
Of
all
course,
did.
yeah.
We all did.
And
I think we were all
right,
like
right.
super
We all
fucking
did.
high.
But I think the difference is with DC versus Marvel. I think with Marvel it was like you build up that wanting it to be good and wanting it to go to the next level,
No,
into the
I
next
think
phase.
with Marvel, you just expect it.
Well,
Like, walking
now
into it.
you expect it, and you go,
And,
it's going
they've
to be
done
good.
that by making us expect it for these past 10 years, and that's true. And that's where.
And with the trailers,
And
they
they've
go,
really never let us
"This
down.
is it. This is what I've been asking for." With DC, it's like I think it's because of how big the icons are, where you're like, "Let me get
I
something.
think
Let me
that
see
they
where
thought
this can go."
that since that they did have these big characters,
They thought they could get
skip-
away with a lot of
with
stuff.
skipping that. And I do think that it falls short in a lot of ways. But for the mostly overarching story to feed into the next stuff that we need, I think it works. And I would like to see that redemption story of Batman going from that darkest, deepest place that he's been back to an actual hopeful, happy Batman.
Yeah,
Happiest
right.
Batman
that's what
could
I think
be.
Batman v Superman does. By the end, like Bruce Wayne is a little more hopeful about everything. Like
Yeah.
and like the death of Superman like makes him realize like fuck. Like,
And that is
we
what,
need
like, they
him.
shouldn't have used the death of Superman
Which-
already. Like, I was like,
okay, can we get the Doomsday right after you're done with that?
yeah,
Because-
there's a lot of, like you said, they used up a lot of storylines where I'm like, guys, this could have been a movie.
Dude,
This
if,
could've been
they,
a whole movie.
if
right.
they
And,
didn't
like-
put Doomsday in the fucking trailer, that would have been incredible to
No,
see.
that,
what-
first of all, that Doomsday looks like shit.
Alright.
I think
that Doomsday was a terrible. That's the worst Doomsday you could possibly imagine.
what they should have.
But like I think
he
it would have
looked,
been cool to see it with it.
He
without
looked like
seeing the
Doomsday
trailer.
without the spikes. and I was like, okay, that would have been fine. But as he was getting beat the shit out of, if he started, like, it even started, at one point he started growing out, like, rock and stuff. I was like, if he evolved throughout that fight and by the end he looked like the Doomsday from the comic, I think that would have been awesome.
Forget the looks, though.
Yeah,
Forget
they
looks.
gave him laser vision, which, I'm sorry,
I thi-
have you ever
I
seen
think-
Doomsday with laser vision?
I think
And
he
looked
does
it up.
get
No,
it.
I looked it up. He does not.
In the comics.
Yeah.
And I think
Are
the
you
only
sure?
reason
But I
they
think
did that
the
is
idea
because
is
he was
'cause
a
he's-
modified version of Zod's body.
Exactly.
Which is another thing. Why is that?
I think
Hold on.
that works fine in the context of the movie, how they set it up. I think you can make that leap and make it work. Because, like, they use Kryptonian technology to make Doomsday, and he is made, I get that he's made from, what is it called? What is the word I'm looking for? Bad Kryptonian DNA or
Like tainted
tainted,
DNA.
like it's dead.
Tainted
like it's a dead,
genes.
Right.
dead Kryptonian.
But
Whatever.
Like, let's go. One, he had that energy beam that, like, wiped out that whole, like, area that they were in. He doesn't have that. He has superhuman strength, whatever.
yeah,
all
he
that.
can jump, yeah.
Yeah. But Lex, he gets into the ship, uses Zod's fingerprint, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
All of them.
Okay. Whatever it was.
All 5.
Gets in there, and he's like, let me throw this dude in this little
Well, no. Okay.
juicy place, you know? And then he gets in there, and he's like, how do we make this guy come back as
Well,
some
he already
crazy-
knew that
and he's
before he went in there.
How?
When he was earlier, when he goes into the ship, he goes, "Teach me." When he's talking to the ship, and then that's when he gets explained all the Kryptonian stuff and how to do that.
He doesn't
Yeah,
do it
that's
right
another
away.
thing.
But how does
he
like,
get
how
into
does-
that ship when it's like so secure?
Yeah.
Because he remember with the he's talking to the congressman. He's like, "All right, I'll get you the rock, but I want access to the alien ship," and he gets it through the congressman.
No. I know that, but even
And I want Zod's
the
body
Kryptonian technology wouldn't let them in.
Yeah.
That's the part that confused. I know that. I know what the politicians he wanted the rights to.
But he used Zod's fingerprints to access it, and he
But
had
what about
Zod's
before?
DNA.
Yeah,
because
When
they
he
were
says,
already in
"Teach
it.
me."
Yeah, and he has Zod's
Because
little...
he's already in. It's already
yeah,
accessed. He has all the
yeah.
stuff
Access
already to
key,
get in there.
yeah. He has the key
At that
thing.
point, he already had his fingerprints to go in and access everything. So he has Zod's signature
I mean,
to get
we
into.
don't know
the-
how-
Doesn't Zod have trouble getting into the ship in Man of Steel too?
No, he's flying it fine. Remember,
It
they're
was
flying
Zod's
into the.
ship, or was it Superman's
It was just.
ship?
It was
Zod's.
it was a ship that was already on, the Earth that was sent there in the scouting party. Remember, it's the one
Right.
that Superman finds,
And his
then it
father.
has the.
Right?
There were Kryptonian ships
Oh,
sent
is
out.
it that shit?
Yeah, from the
okay.
first in Man of Steel, they explained that they sent out ships to colonize other planets, and this is one of those ships that was
Right.
sent to Earth way back when they were trying to do that. And I assume that's supposed to be his Fortress of Solitude in this, but then it's in the middle of New York City now, or Metropolis, so I don't know if he's
Yeah,
gonna
that's
get a Fortress of
probably
Solitude. Anyways, there's a lot of things that I think are explained if you do look. Maybe it's to the movie's fault that you have to look that hard. I don't think you have to look that hard. I think if you do pay attention, you kind of get those story points. But I
Pointing out
do.
our ADD.
Yeah, I know.
And no, I understand, and that's where the length of
zoning
the length of the movie comes in. I understand that you kind of drone out after a while, and
And
if you're not so interested in it, yeah.
One thing I think this movie does that like Marvel movies don't is like it has a more deeper philosophical tone than like maybe Civil War kind of gets there in a way.
A little bit.
Yeah,
I
but
think
like
the
most Marvel movies are just kind of like base.
I still
and that's
think
what I'm like Marvel.
Captain
like,
America:
please.
Civil War, not Civil War.
Winter
Soldier
Soldier
is
the
might be my
best.
favorite.
It's the best.
Marvel movie
it
only
is.
because
It
like,
is.
it's a spy thriller that involves superheroes, and it's just
They
play it so
They tell
well.
their jokes, but guess what? It's serious most of the time.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
and I
gotta
think
be
that's cool.
that or Galaxy 2, Guardians of Galaxy 2, but that's like heading in a different direction. And
So-
a light, yeah.
That's-
Justice League, you think that last trailer showed a lot, though? You really did. I feel like it did. It shows obviously him coming to Earth the one time. The first scene is going to be that scene of them all back in the old times when they fight Darkseid, or whoever the first time. But
It's the
I don't
Amazonians
think we've
and-
seen anything from the last half an hour of that movie easily, or to an hour.
How about when
most of the movie.
Aquaman fling him up, Batman catches him on the thing, and
It's probably the end.
that's
Well,
the end.
yeah. I guess that's
And
the
they're
last.
fighting.
That's the big fight back.
They're
But I
probably
think,
destroying
but we've
something
seen,
again.
we've just seen one of the. And that's one thing I do see this movie already falling into the trope of. It's a bunch of just nameless soldiers that cannon fire that they can just beat the shit out
Yeah.
of.
Parademons, yeah.
And I
That's what the shit's
do
already
want to
worth.
see. I want to see
But
that movie.
you had a villain with them too, didn't you?
Yeah, but no,
Loki,
and
yeah.
but you'll have. But it's the same thing with Justice League. You'll have Steppenwolf as their villain. I think it's the same exact thing.
But
It's
they
where
set up Loki for the Avengers, so that's why when he was the villain in Avengers, you're like, okay, wait, I know
totally,
that guy.
but no one. Thor is the weakest movies, and I really didn't care.
But
Avengers
who knows
was what
about
made me.
Steppenwolf? Other than comic book.
But no
nerds.
one knew about
Nobody.
Loki really before going
That's
into
why they
Avengers.
set him up.
But no one saw Thor. I think
People
a
saw
lot of people saw
Yeah,
Avengers.
I wouldn't say people didn't see Thor.
I don't think people saw Thor nearly to the amount of where you'd see, say, like a Batman vs Superman. Thor was, I think, the weakest out of all the Marvel
Yeah,
movies.
you're
And
not
I just
wrong.
think that one definitely didn't build up Loki as much as I feel.
At least
like
the
you're saying.
content
I
was
think
there,
But
what
they
made me
introduced him at least.
true, but
you
I
know?
think that's
So
just
you-
about
you
as
weren't-
much as Steppenwolf. Steppenwolf wasn't actually in this one because they cut out the after credit scene with him, which is stupid.
We haven't talked about it. Like the Ultimate Edition is like the
And I
quintessential
hate
version
using
of the movie
that
to watch.
as an excuse
That is
to go
an
see
excuse
it.
because
It is, but like
it
but
should
at
be
the same
theatrical, and that's
But
it.
at the same time, though, that is the director's cut. That's the cut he wanted to go into the movie, but they cut it down.
they
and
should at
wouldn't
least
allow
have put that Steppenwolf.
I'm not
scene in there.
saying that is a total excuse and that totally 100% gets you out of it, but I do think that is something to consider. And whereas with this director's cut, you do get the full story, whereas like the stuff with Superman, you're like that whole thing at the beginning, you're like, what the fuck is going on? They burned the bodies? What do you mean? Why do you think Superman did this? They shot everyone.
Yeah.
And then you
But
see
they
it in the
actually
Ultimate.
see in the Ultimate
The
Edition
missile,
what they do.
right?
Well, no, they burn the bodies and like make it look like Superman uses
yeah.
heat vision to kill all of them. And I was like, oh, that makes sense now.
And then I know in the Ultimate Edition, when Superman's like watching the TV and he's like really like pouting and
Yeah.
like pissed off. In the theatrical version, they're like talking about how Batman was branding these people, and these people like that's a death wish and whatever. But in the extended edition, they're talking about the bodies that Superman essentially burned.
Exactly.
So it makes more sense for Superman to be pissed off about that than what. Like
That's what I'm saying.
What's
Yeah,
the
like-
point of having the version of him being all pissed off and pouty about Batman branding people? It didn't make sense. Take it out entirely if that's the point.
And I agree, and I think that comes down to the studio. I really think because that's the studio cutting all that stuff down to where they need that runtime. The director's cut is, I mean, by usually all accounts, with most director's cut, that's the cut they wanted to go into the movie, but you can't because of, like I said, runtime and issues like that.
Right.
I do think that the director's cut fills you in on a lot more stuff where you don't understand. I think it gives some key stuff. You get to see Batman's butt. That's just a compliment.
We've already seen his penis, so it doesn't matter.
That's true.
What movie was that?
Gone
again?
Girl.
Gone Girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just saying, that's
got
a
the
great
back dick.
movie.
Yeah.
By the way,
That is,
that's
I
a whole,
love that
I
movie.
could do a whole
Gone
podcast
Girl?
on that.
That movie was the reason why when Ben Affleck got cast as Batman, I was like,
All right,
Gone
fine.
Girl? I've never seen it
It's
yet.
so good.
But overall, I do think, like I will say, I will not give you that 100. I agree that that's not an excuse. But at the same time, I don't think it's fair to say that you shouldn't go see the movie and that it wouldn't change
There's
your opinion,
one-
at least. Did you guys watch it? I'm just curious. The extended cut.
No.
I would really love
should.
to just see like what your.
You
I know
should.
it's not going to make you think it's like totally better.
It makes the movie
But I feel
better.
like it might soften.
more of that.
I,
Soften the blow.
I really do. I think maybe if you guys if you watched the regular cut.
I
last
saw
night
the
when you
right.
watched
Yeah,
it?
yeah, yeah.
That sucks because I would have said just watch the if you were gonna watch the extended.
First of all, it was hard to find the movie. I'm not gonna say how I watched.
He literally
He's sitting up there.
he literally texted me at like 3 a.m. Did you find it? And I'm like, what? Wait. 3:16 in the morning. I was like, what? The movie. I was like, I'm watching it on demand.
At 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
Any Hooser saw it legally. If anyone cares.
Real
That's
quick, I don't know how many points you guys have left to bring up, but
I have
Martha, because we haven't brought it up.
Go
ahead.
I want to.
Unless you got
we
something
kind
else.
of.
I'm trying to see if I.
Yeah, but like
Yeah, but
we
we
didn't go
touched
into it.
on
I want
we
to.
have a bit of a defense for it
Yeah.
that I think is
It's very solid.
Okay, I have 2 things left. Martha's one of them.
Okay, so we'll do Martha last.
no yeah
No,
yeah.
we'll do Martha first because
Okay.
this happened after
Okay,
this is the whole
go
movie.
for
Okay. All right, so
All right, excuse my French. Who the fuck cares? Like, who gives a shit? First of all, who calls their mother by their first name? Anybody?
I mean,
Anybody?
Rio does all the time.
no, I mean I don't know. I think well,
It's like my mom's name is Martha. No.
And if you've been planning this for months, you're Batman. You're like, I'm gonna fucking kill this guy. You're planning this for months. You get the kryptonite. You're about to go like this, and he says Martha, and that's what's gonna stop you.
but the thing is, listen to my.
It is.
Listen to
This
my.
isn't ours, by the way.
Yeah, we
This
actually
isn't-
heard this. We went to this Batman vs Superman panel
At Wizard World.
At Wizard World, and this guy explained this to me. I think it's a very fine, very
It's super
good
sound.
explanation. At least in my opinion,
It's good.
So at the beginning of the movie, we obviously see what people think is a very redundant scene with the Martha scene
Very
of him,
redundant.
of
which we see throughout the movie again.
exactly.
But I think-
the idea of that scene
Jeopardy
when he
Morgan.
says Martha, when he dies, he says Martha. That's the last thing he hears his dad say. He's thinking of his parents. He obviously loves his parents. That is what makes him Batman.
So,
is
yeah,
his parents
like,
dying in that alley, and Martha
dies instantly. His dad, Thomas, does
was
not.
about to-
Like, so he falls
one
on the
thing
ground.
that's different.
Yeah.
He's getting ahead of me here. One thing that is different about this scene than most other things. Martha dies immediately when she's shot. She's down. She's out. Thomas
Shoots in the
gets
chin, right?
or something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, in the face,
yeah.
under the.
I love the way
necklace.
they shot with the necklace.
Like-
by the way.
Well, that's the same. That's off
Oh,
the
so
comic.
fucking
Yeah, there's one where
So
what breaks
good.
the beads off the pearls.
And so he's down, and the last thing he says before he takes his last breath is Martha, and that is the last word he hears his dad say. And I really think, obviously, he's with his mom, he's with his parents, they die. That's on his mind. It's what humanizes him. It's what brings him back.
That's Batman.
And that's Batman. That moment is
crux.
what.
So
that was the
anytime
end
anyone
of
says Martha,
the. No, listen. That's what I'm getting to.
Maybe.
Even 40 years later, after
Yeah.
he's like gone over.
He sees Superman as this alien creature that just needs to be wiped out. That's just this ultimate dooms. And I know you're already rolling your eyes at me. He sees him as this piece of shit, this thing that can just destroy the earth. He
Right.
doesn't see him as a human at all. And in that moment, when he says Martha, and that is their names are actually Martha, both
Yeah,
in the
no, I
comics,
know
which
that.
is fun.
Yeah.
Like they didn't change that. That's what you can see him. I feel like at least you can see him teetering on this the entire movie. He is just so in it, but he's waiting for that one crack to send him either way. And Alfred's obviously trying to get him on his side the whole time. He's like, "Why are you seeing him as this villain? What's the problem?" He's obviously saving people. And then when he hears him say Martha, it just snaps like this guy's a human like me. And I get that that's a little bit of a reach for people, and I can understand that. But at the same time, I think it works fine, and I don't think it's as ridiculous as people pointed out.
Yeah,
But
like
but you're talking. It's not like he was just planning it a week ago. There
Maybe
were
it was.
months in between,
18 months.
whatever it is.
well,
Okay, and he went out and got this kryptonite that he left the little kryptonite staff on the bottom floor, and then went upstairs, knowing, like, how do you know that you're going to get back down to the bottom? Don't get it? Whatever.
I think
What
that
if
was.
Superman?
I mean, I assume that's his plan. But
What if Superman knocked you over to the next
Yo,
building?
that's Batman.
he does pick him up.
Hey, that's totally fair. I'll take that.
But anyway, you get down there. He's ready. Like, he's literally like arguing back. He's going to, like, just right in your throat. Like, you're dead, bro. Then you kill Martha. So what? Dead.
I don't. I just,
okay.
I-
Let me say something because you've been talking a lot. So when you remember that scene where like Bruce Wayne is going to his house and he goes to his parents' grave, which I
Yeah.
guess is in the yard. I assume.
Yeah, which-
okay.
Yeah, he's in
Which
the
is kind of
crypt
weird,
by
but he's
his
a
Yeah,
house.
it's a little
millionaire.
weird.
Well, no,
blood's-
if they
and
have
the
a
blood's
whip, if
coming
they
out
have
and he's going
a Wayne
like that.
family manor, I
Yeah,
wouldn't be
so
surprised there. He gets
He brings flowers to his mother's grave, and the parademon comes out or whatever.
It's a Batman.
Yeah.
It's a man bat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's some creature.
It's
It's
a
like
man-bat.
a nightmare thing. It comes out of Martha's grave.
Man bat.
It doesn't come out of Thomas's.
Okay.
It's but like it's further like
I think the idea is
representing
that
that like his
Martha
mother
is that
death
real key-
really affected him, not so much his dad's.
Mama's boy.
And
You
I
know,
can see
like-
why that's not.
Like, don't say that wouldn't
Fair.
fuck you up because
No,
it would.
I believe it was.
And like I don't know,
Yeah.
in a moment where like maybe Batman is now, we'll call him Joe Chill because that's what he's in the comic, or his parents' killer, Joe Chill's. He's in that position. He's killing some
An
like,
innocent.
an innocent. Like not that he's innocent, but like he has a family too, and maybe Martha. Fucking, he puts him. Now he's
All
in the
he's viewing
killer's
him
shoes.
as is just this otherworldly alien until that point, and that's I guess.
And he's like, why the
thought on
fuck would you say that? Like, what?
Yeah, what would be
Yeah,
that
like,
specific? Like
Like
what-
he doesn't know his mom's name's Martha, and he can't just assume.
I think
that.
that
but-
would.
Okay, that all happened.
Okay.
But then, like, right after it, Batman was all cool and he's like, listen, I'm going to go save your mom. You do what you got to do.
because
I don't
because
believe
that's
that
the
they would be
realization of Lex is
buddy
manipulating them.
that quickly after they, like, Batman
Yeah.
hated him for months. Like, no one turns like that.
The whole second half of the movie was just way too fast.
Yeah. No one
Well,
and
I mean,
then,
So you would have been fine with that if it was a more gradual turn of him.
yes, and also I would have liked the whole movie's called Batman versus Superman, and we got a 5-minute fight. I would
But
have
at
liked
the
it a
end of
little
the
bit
how
more.
much-
good though.
It
I thought
was
it
a
was
good
like
fight.
10
I would have liked it a little bit longer.
By the way, in the Ultimate Edition,
See, I hear a
that
lot
is
of
literally
people say-
kept intact. The whole fight, nothing changes, which is good.
See, I always hear
Yeah.
people say that it's too long. to me.
Oh, man.
Like, so, I think that's
the
fine.
movie's marketed as Batman versus Superman. That's what I wanted to go see. I want to see a fight. They didn't, like, even if you didn't put Doomsday in there, just make the fight longer.
No, I really, honestly, I think that they should have had Lex in his mechanical suit, his big, and that should have been like the last thing. Like if he's like, all right, we got to go. Max Landis
Superman
pitched
movie.
this whole Batman vs Superman movie.
I agree.
Solely
one time,
Superman though.
and it was really good. So
Yeah,
it really
Max
should have
Landis,
been Batman should have visited like Clark Kent as Batman at one point after he's already had this meeting with Lex Luthor, and Lex has him in, and he's like, all right, listen, you got an image problem. We got to figure this out. And he's like, what are you talking about? He's like, dude, you're Superman. I know who you are. Like, you glasses. Anyways, you have an image
fucking
problem.
retard.
I can help
I
you
thought I
out.
just saw him
We
right
can do
there.
this. We can do this. And then basically Batman shows up in the end. He's like, you can't trust Lex Luthor. Blah blah blah. And gives him this whole riff. You actually got to look it up. Look up Max Landis BVS pitch. Very cool. Very interesting. I'm just gonna butcher it. But could they have done things differently in this movie? Absolutely. At the end of the day, do I think it's as bad as people say it is? I don't agree.
There's just so much wrong with it.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
especially for stuff that's already
what's your
set in
second
stone.
point that you were going to bring
Oh,
up?
okay. He has the spear. Doesn't kill him. Throws it away. Cool. You know, whatever. You threw it away.
Yeah, it was
Superman
cool.
flies out. Why does Lois feel the need to go grab the spear, throw it in the well?
Because she doesn't want anyone using that
No,
skill.
no. That was just to progress the story later on when Superman had to save her to get the kryptonite, and then like it's this all
To be
like
a Lois Lane
he's
Superman
he's
moment.
human. Lois can save him.
See, I don't agree.
moment. That's what that was for.
I don't agree with that at all. She sees this as the only thing that can kill the fucking love of her life. She wants to throw that thing away so it can't fucking touch him again.
Break it, destroy it.
But then
Because
it's still
if she-
there. You can still.
But if she destroyed it, then you can't kill Doomsday. That just destroys
Yeah.
the story.
I see-
If she throws it down there,
I see what
I
you're
see
saying,
both
but
sides.
I think
I do.
mine.
I see
I
both
think the
sides.
idea that she just wants this thing to be just gone and just throws it.
just throwing it down the well doesn't make
Yeah,
it
but
gone.
yeah. Would you rather destroy it than
Yeah.
have it just thrown down?
Yeah,
the well?
but in the heat of the moment, you're just trying to get rid of it. I
My
don't
man,
know.
you got people flying around that can do anything. You don't think they can grab that? You got Lex Luthor.
well,
who's
but
got
who knows
access
where
to
it is at
anything.
that point, though? Who would
Lex
know?
does.
I'm sure.
No, he doesn't. How would he know?
Well, it's Lex. The way they made him in this movie, just
That's fair. But
how
at the
does
same
he tie
time,
in everything for Doomsday? You know what I mean? Like that's the type of Lex that I don't
Yeah.
understand. How Lex can be like that, but Batman can't for some reason.
I think the idea with Batman is he's so blinded by his anger that he's making these mistakes, these stupid rookie mistakes
I
that
think that's
he wouldn't have made in his prime
But-
of detective.
But to me, they're not mistakes. They're just not there.
They're oversights.
Well, exactly, but that's I guess same difference in the way he's making these stupid oversights or mistakes, whatever you want to call them, because he's not as
just
practiced.
fucking-
He's really just he's in the I don't know how to say it, the viscerality of the experience at this point so much that he doesn't think as clearly as he would.
Mind you, he's never gone up against somebody like this. Like,
I mean, Batman did basically he sat back during the fight because what is he gonna do with Doomsday? You can't.
yeah.
He's
I
not
mean,
gonna-
Wonder Woman comes in. He's like,
Also,
yeah.
Wonder Woman, there was no need for her to be in this movie.
I agree.
Yeah.
I can't
that
disagree.
theme,
But
Yeah, great theme.
going back to the
But
that theme,
the
though.
theme
That one scene where Superman goes to Batman, he goes,
is she with you? Yeah, I
He
agree.
goes, I thought she was with you.
That was just trying to make humor. Yeah.
Motherfucker, you were emailing her like
Liar!
days before. She's the reason why you know about everyone else.
No, I agree. That was one where I'm like, okay, guys. And then there's another problem I do have was the mini trailer in the middle with where Lex Luthor's HR team made symbols for the whole Justice League.
Yeah.
And named them.
They made symbols and named them.
Like if he had them just on his thing and it just said subject whatever and he was spying on them, I'd be like, okay, that makes sense that he's looking after
Yeah.
them. But like that he comes up with the symbols and stuff. I'm like, come on, guys.
I kind
That's-
of like in the way that he like knows like there's metas around, but
No,
No,
yes,
and I think,
I-
like I'm saying, he could have
symbols and,
accomplished that
you
in a
know,
different way.
He Batman's more than Batman.
And how did he get the footage of Aquaman?
Because he Batman's more than Batman.
I mean,
He just-
the guy's got
No,
money.
I-
Right? So
I think he has
but-
the deep. Yeah.
So there
again,
clearly
there's leaps of
people,
logic.
People
that I
know
feel
that
like,
there is.
which
an
means he could have
advantage.
found the staff.
And
this fucker.
he didn't have any footage of Wonder Woman or Superman or Batman.
No,
in
the
that
picture.
folder.
Well, he has the picture. Yeah.
There's a
No, I
picture
know.
So there
of
wouldn't have
Wonder
been
Woman.
footage, right? Because of the time period, and well, unless Well, we don't.
No, I get. He's saying now, like in the present day. I guess the idea.
Well, she hasn't been
Diana's
fighting. Well, they have the picture of her at the bank, but she doesn't fight.
Yeah, they have a
Right,
video.
but they
of her.
don't have a Batman picture or a Superman picture on there. If he's doing his research,
Because I think
why
because
wouldn't he
everyone
have
fucking knows
everyone
I
about
think he's
them.
close enough to Superman for him not to need a picture.
Yeah,
Yeah, like, you know-
and same with
But
Batman.
for
Like, dude,
Batman, I don't
But
know.
did he
Batman
even have
is?
a Batman and Superman file there?
No.
No, he didn't.
See, so I guess Superman, I think probably should have been in there. I'll give
Yeah.
that to you.
He's the
Batman at the same
ultimate
time,
meta.
he's not a meta. He's just a vigilante. But then again, no one like I do.
Bad as
Some of the
Aquaman.
there are some great like lines that I think they should just play like in some old animated movies. In Justice League War, that when he meets Green Lantern, he's like, so what's your powers? You a vampire? You suck blood? He's like, no. And he's like, are you just a fucking dude in a bat costume? And
Yeah,
he's like,
yeah, and he's freaking
he smiles
out.
at
I
him.
remember that,
It's
yeah.
so like I would love to see that in the
Yeah.
fucking movie. Like
well,
stuff
that's
like
like the Flash going. And
He
he's like,
keeps
what's your
going, "What do you do?
superpower? I'm
What do you do?"
rich. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, kind of.
What does he say to Wonder Woman in Justice League? He goes, "You're a princess that doesn't like men." He goes, "I'm a rich kid with daddy
daddy
issues."
issues.
And I would like to see more
Yeah, when
of
they're
a,
on the
like,
roof. Yeah.
a self-depre.
Yeah.
Wait, Wonder Woman doesn't like men?
Well, she does.
Well, the
but she's
Amazonians
in-
don't
Now she
like
does.
men.
What?
Now she does.
The Amazonians, like, their culture is not into men.
Well, she knows. Even in the movie, she says like, "Oh yeah, we know about like sex and stuff like that." Whole scene on the boat.
We've
when
stu-
she's talking,
we
she's
studied
like,
it, yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
she's
yeah.
like, we know about. She's like, men are necessary for reproduction, but not for pleasure.
Pleasure, yeah.
And then and you're like, oh,
Chris Pine's like, Chris Pine's
Wonder
like,
Woman. Anyways,
it's like,
Uh,
get off the boat now.
she just to quickly say about Wonder Woman, that is one that I did not think that they could pull off as well as they did. Just
They did a
even
great
like the
job.
whole mythology of her.
Yeah.
That's like Batman. Who's Batman? Oh, he's a kid who got his parents died in an alley. Blah blah blah. Superman. Oh, he came from Krypton or whatever. He's from a different Earth. All right, where'd Wonder Woman come from? What's her backstory? She's from an island. That's the story you'll get from most people.
Yeah.
Like, and then they managed to really
Yeah.
streamline that. In a cool way.
Amazonian Empire.
That is like I said. I just think if they give a good director the movie and let them do what they think is right,
Room,
you're
yeah.
gonna get what you want to
gotten
get.
good directors. That's the problem. David Ayers, great.
But that's what I'm
director.
saying. They didn't let him do
What was
he,
the,
that
what
was
did
all
he do
cut up.
before
And
Suicide Squad?
Training Day.
Was it?
Yeah.
what I'm saying, but that's what I'm
Training
saying.
Day was-
Let them leave them to their devices. WB has their hands in all, and I don't even know Batman vs Superman. I have no idea how much they actually were involved in that, but Suicide Squad they cut to shit. They had a whole the trailer company that did that one trailer. They had their own version for it apparently. They got to get their directors that are good, like David Ayer. I think if they did leave him up to his own devices
Yeah.
and let him cut the movie he wanted, it would have been
He did
a good
Fury
movie.
too. Did
Yeah.
you see that?
Did he?
Yeah.
Dude, he
I like the movie. It's
he's
good.
a good
Shia LaBeouf's
I
director.
didn't, I didn't see
But
Fury.
even Shia LaBeouf was decent. That was Shia LaBeouf
the
after
tank
Meltdown.
movie, right?
Yeah.
Nah, dude, I like Shia.
He actually ripped
don't
his
care.
tooth out for that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy fuck.
He
And
is.
fucking John Bernthal.
Punisher. Can't wait for that.
But Aquaman, I'm actually that's just one movie. I'm like, if you ask me, what do you think you're gonna
Is
do?
Aquaman after Justice League? I was
Yeah,
gonna ask that.
yeah, that's after-
That's
of
next,
course.
right?
What's
No,
up?
Aquaman is next, right?
Is after, yeah, it's
Justice
October
League.
of next year. They're close to filming principal photography. That's one where they're going apparently for like a Lord of the Rings under the water vibe, and I was like, that's actually cool. I like that.
I gotta rewatch
Because
the
it's-
Rings, bro.
because like the Atlantean like
Yeah.
scape, but
That's
that's a
gonna be
movie
tough to
that you
pull
could
off.
never shoot 20 years ago.
No.
The way that
Oh,
they're shooting
no.
it with the app. Have you seen the
Absolutely
behind the
not.
scene like video of him filming the one scene? Like he's on this big arm and like he's literally just going through the air like he's swimming, and the only thing that's CGI is his hair, and he's just making like swimming motions in air. And he's got like an arm that's wrapped around him that keeps him up in the air and makes him look it up. It's really interesting. I'm super pumped for that movie just because I think it's going to be so different
How do
from
you
what
guys
we've
feel
ever
about Ezra Miller as the Flash?
I like, from what I've seen in the trailers and stuff, I actually like it. I
You know?
didn't, at first
He
I
seems
didn't.
really like nerdy and
That's what Barry
Well, that's
Allen
it.
is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's.
But
that's
I
the
like how they're
Flash.
making
That's
it
the
different
Flash.
from Grant Gustin because they can't do Grant Gustin
no,
again.
dude. I love.
And he
Grant
does.
He's
the
good, but
Flash.
he is. But they can't replicate season 1 of the Flash.
Totally.
movie.
And what we were talking one day, that they say they're going to do Flashpoint for Flash's movie, and that is the ultimate. If they want to just erase a bunch of shit, that's when they're going to do it, and really just
I don't.
I
get
think
why
Justice
they
League-
want to do that so early.
because people. What do you mean? People are out there talking shit. Like everyone, I hear a bunch of people online just saying, "Just fuck it, can it start all over again?" And I think that this could be, if Justice League is the crux, if that comes out and does just fine critically and does great commercially, we're locked in. This is our universe. I personally think from now on. But if
Right.
that comes out and gets super dodgy reviews and it's very divisive, just like Batman vs Superman,
Which
could really
think it will be.
and that's fine. Yeah, I can't. I agree with that.
I think
I
I'll
don't
like
want
more.
it to be though.
Yeah,
Like,
I
I
think I'll like
know,
more
and that's
movie,
what
but-
sucks.
Because like the critics, even for Man of Steel, they didn't really like it, right? It didn't get great reviews.
Yeah, it was okay.
I just don't think.
What
got-
critics
it
ever
got
like
good
superhero
enough
films?
reviews,
Except
yeah.
for Deadpool.
I mean, Guardians of the Galaxy.
What did you? I totally missed.
I said except like critics usually shit on superhero movies.
That's not true.
Captain
I don't think
America.
usually they're at least like 7s
The
and
first
8s though. They're
Avengers.
not usually like.
yeah, well, that was the
And
first movie of that.
I don't
its
think
kind,
Rotten
you know?
Tomatoes is a
We never
great.
saw like a team up.
It's not.
It's
but-
I think for a guesstimate ballpark
Yeah.
of like a critical reception, I think it's good. But at the same time, there's like a positive review on there. If you've ever looked at it, they're not positive. So it's very weird the way that their reviews work out. Some like there was one for Wonder Woman. We were told like it was this guy just totally ripping on the movie, but it was fresh. It was a fresh review and stuff like. I'm like so confused. So I don't know how all that stuff works. At the end of the day, I guess this is. Do we have any? Are we missing?
yeah,
any?
I was ready for you to finish up your point. I was going to close out. So
Yeah.
we've given our sides. I think it's
One more point, dude. Why is Doomsday so weak? He's the Superman killer,
And they killed him really fast.
He is one of the ends of Earth, and then
I don't think it was that. I mean, I just think it's. I think when you're in a movie like that, you're like, what do you wish he like survived to come back for later, or do you think it should have just been a
No.
longer fight?
I mean, we could
I think
see
they,
it.
more-
I think they shouldn't have fought him in this movie.
I agree.
Like this should have been like think of Thanos. How many movies do we have the build up of Thanos in Avengers?
And I agree. And Darkseid's kind of that is the Thanos of DC. And
right.
that's where we're going.
But Doomsday like kicks the crap out of Darkseid.
That should have been. I agree. That should have been the Superman sequel, like the standalone Man of Steel.
we had
sequel.
like a little side off. Like Lex Luthor should be the villain of the next Man of Steel movie.
Right, just
Yeah.
to have that
And
typical Superman like.
I don't think we're going to see Jesse Eisenberg in this universe again.
You don't think so?
No.
Maybe as I don't know, like a few
And they
scenes,
can
but-
still pull out the card of Lex's dad's still here, and that's the real Lex Luthor, and that. Lex
I thought
Luthor's
he's
still-
dead.
Wait.
Well, they could totally.
So this
He's
Lex
rich, he can
Luthor
do
wasn't the real Lex
Well,
Luthor.
Lazarus.
They're
Pit.
just
He's a son.
he's
He's a
Lex
son.
Luthor Jr.
yeah.
So there's apparently another
Yeah.
Alexander Luthor before him. I don't know why they added that layer on top.
And you guys all know who would have been the best Lex Luthor, right?
Bryan
Yeah.
Cranston.
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought he was for a while, and then all of a sudden they
Yeah.
casted Lex Luthor, and I was like, wait. And
Jesse
they cast
Eisenberg.
Jesse Eisenberg, and I was like, wasn't he like confirmed? But
I think it would've been
the
cool,
only
too.
reason I could see them
Right?
not wanting to do that is because they didn't want to go the same route of like
God, we need
Kevin
a part
Spacey
two. We need
and
a
stuff like
part
that.
two.
Like,
You know what? I think even Kevin Spacey now, if you put him as Lex Luthor in this universe, Kevin Spacey
he would have. Yeah, I
awesome.
agree.
He's
an
the goat.
awesome actor. It's just the script back in 2006 just wasn't.
And
Good.
even so I was
Yeah.
watching Superman Returns the other day. People give that movie a lot of shit.
It's
but like
very
it is.
slow.
It is.
That's-
And
haven't
people
seen
give
it
a lot
in
Man of
years.
Steel a lot of shit, and I'm like, well, we can't do the Donner Superman, obviously, and people aren't liking this Dark Superman. Where the fuck do we go? Like he is really that
Right.
tough character to find
Yeah,
that
like I
like
said,
middle
it's-
ground.
I
it's
don't know,
hard
but
to
Smallville,
make a
like
Superman.
there was like.
I really gotta watch that.
Like
I really
they,
do.
They should
the only
really
thing is, like,
do
it's
Superman starting like the first Superman movie should be like how Spider-Man: Homecoming was, where like he's starting to like understand his powers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He
But he's
knows.
not a kid.
No,
No,
no.
but I'm saying that's how they should have done the first one. They should have hired a younger actor and done that.
okay.
To
And
go
if
back
you-
and
if-
forth like Arrow did, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, not even back and forth, but you should have just had that whole movie, just him being younger and understanding. And that way, when he's young, you can humanize him. So
Totally.
when there is a sequel, you're like, well, I already know, like, I know how he was as a kid.
I
can
grew up
feel
with
for
this
him.
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know? And I know no superhero movie will ever do that.
That's true. And I do like in Man of Steel, all the younger stuff, the flashback stuff with him. I enjoyed personally, like when he was getting beat up by like bullied by the kids,
And he's grabbing the fence.
thing, and then he's like, "Yo, man, you need help." He pulls him up and
He grabs a bumper, doesn't he?
No, it's like
It's
a
the
fence
fence.
post.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
then he gets up and he crushed the fence post. And I think that's all. Like he has to deal with it. Like
Yeah.
he can't fight back. He'll literally kill someone.
That's what like
And then
the
he
comic
saves-
book American Alien is
Yeah,
about.
and then he
I
saves
don't
that
even-
whole
I don't
school
even know about
bus,
that one.
and he's like, "Well, Dad, what the fuck should I do? Should I not have saved them?" And he's like, "I don't know, son. Maybe." Like all that stuff
Maybe.
was really good in my
Yeah.
opinion. I really that was like what I see a Superman movie
That's
really.
right.
And
working as.
that felt like more like you felt more sympathy to Superman than I guess is the right word. I don't even know.
I get what you're saying. Yeah,
Like then
You
you
felt
would,
for him
Yeah,
more,
like
yeah.
you were like, oh man, like you know, like yeah, he has these powers, but he's still like a person.
Yeah, and
who
he's-
wants to do good, but then you have all these people like you can't because they'll think you're a freak and this and that. And
The soft side of Clark Kent.
that's what made Man of Steel better than it should have been,
Yep.
honestly.
And how'd you guys feel with him killing Zod at the end? Were you pissed off about
In
that?
the beginning, I was.
I love that neck snap.
I really...
I feel like
I
he,
was like,
he
because
needed
when-
that to develop the typical Superman.
Yeah, he's got to
like-
kill somebody and feel that,
Yeah.
especially one of his own.
I do think Cavill really conveyed the sense of, I don't want to fucking do this,
Yeah.
but I have to do this. The way he like lets out the scream.
He was so emotional.
It was.
you know what
I thought it was awesome,
Yeah.
and I really. That's where the casting, I do think, gives Snyder all his flack. He gave us, I think, a really cool casting on Wonder Woman. I think he did a good job casting Batman. Jesse Eisenberg.
Did he cast the
is
rest of the
obviously
Justice
to your-
League too?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
casted Jason Momoa, so we'll see on that. Ezra Miller. Jason Momoa, I really think is going to be awesome as Aquaman.
Yeah, he's the man.
Ezra Miller,
Ezra Miller was like the wheel, like what the fuck?
At first, I was like,
That
no,
one?
but as I've seen more
I was like
of
the
this,
guy from
I
Perks
actually
of
like
Being
what
a
he's doing.
Wallflower. That kid.
I hate him in Fantastic Beasts.
You didn't like him? I actually saw that the other day. I thought it was fine.
I love the movie.
Yeah.
I hate Credence. I think
Well, he's never seen a bad movie, so.
right.
I haven't seen Fantastic.
No, Fantastic Beasts you definitely do have to check out. I think
It's good.
A lot of people were talking down on it to me, and I was like, it's fine.
Yeah,
It's whatever.
I mean, because it's not a Harry Potter movie.
Of course. But overall, I think we've covered everything, guys.
Yeah,
we
Thank you for
covered
joining
it.
us. We
Thank
kept
you
our
guys
for
heads
having
on,
us.
and
It was fun.
it was a fun
It was.
time.
Yeah.
Justice League, when that comes around,
Yeah,
I definitely want to have you guys
we'll
back
definitely do
on.
a review.
We'll bootleg it, go live.
There you go. Yeah, we'll watch it live from here.
It's like, hey guys,
Here live on the Delco Nerd Network.
Like, put your phone like on the back of the chair.
Oh my
just
God.
treat them.
Switch
And then-
cams to face you in and out of the movies.
I
Yeah,
really
this
am
part
interested
sucks.
on that, man. I just want these movies to be good, dude. I love DC. Just
I want them to
comics
do
comic books
what
more than
Marvel is.
Their animations.
Dude, their
animations
animations
are the best
killer.
out
Yeah.
there.
And I'm like, dude, like make one of those. Make an animated movie, Gotham by Gaslight. What they're doing. If they made that a live action Elseworld movie, that would be cool.
That'd be so weird
Fuck.
to market.
I think that.
How
I think
about
those work
Doomsday?
fine.
How about
I've never seen Superman Doomsday.
No, not Superman Doomsday. Batman Doomsday,
Which one's that?
where Batman has the plans to stop the Justice League
Oh,
if they go
Doom.
out of
Yeah,
hand.
yeah.
Doom,
That's
not Doomsday,
actually
Doom.
yeah. It's alright.
Oh, Doom. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
No, have you seen that one, Justice League Doom? It's really good. He had, what is wrong with Batman? Like that would be an awesome.
That seems really cool.
That
Batman
should have been
has-
a first Batman movie to build up the Justice
Just
League.
yeah, like
Should
so
have been
basically,
Batman 3.
The idea is Batman has the way to beat every single Justice League member on his computer.
Not synergy plan. What do they call that? Come on, give me the word, man.
Synergy? I don't know.
No. Contingency plan.
Oh yeah, he has a contingency plan.
Oh, dude, well, you know, once he
Of course.
forms the Justice League, like, I know how to kill
And then
you.
someone steals all the contingency plans
Yeah.
from his back computer. I think it's what's his name from Legends of Tomorrow, the bad guy from the first season.
The
Crawl,
old guy.
black hair, beard. You know who I'm
Vandal
talking about?
Savage.
Vandal
Vandal
Savage.
Savage.
Yeah, I was like,
And he's taking out all the Justice League members. Dude, it's so cool. And then
Vandal
That
Dude,
and
yeah.
Red Hood are my two favorites.
Red
I gotta
Hood's
wrap it up.
awesome.
Dude. I got
love
somewhere to
Red
be.
Yeah, all right, I'm sorry. Well, thank you all for watching the Delco Nerd Network. You can find us on Facebook page, on our Facebook page at facebook.com/Delco Nerd Network, at Twitter and at Instagram at the Delco Nerds, on YouTube, youtube.com/Delco Nerd Network. For Gooch, for Aris, for Billy, I've been Trio. Thanks for tuning in, guys.
thank you.
Thank you.